I remember everything I ever did or felt growing up. I can recall every award I won, every friend that I made, and every performance that I did, but I do not remember a time where I felt like I belonged. I grew up surrounded by family, but I always felt slightly apart from them. My grandparents immigrated to the United States and started their family in Los Angeles. I grew up in a low-income neighborhood where everyone around me was first generation while I was second generation. Their connection to their culture ran long while mine was as long as my index finger. My parents only spoke to me in English and we never celebrated holidays. I did not grow up dancing to traditional music at parties or eating cultural foods at home. In a room full of cultural rich kids, I was alienated. I was not pushed out, but I was never fully a part of the puzzle to begin with. In turn, my home life was not that much different. I was the only granddaughter, daughter, and girl cousin in a family full of boys. I was easy to brush off and be used as the head of a joke. I was not included in their games or conversations. I tried to be like them, but I did not know how to fit into their world. I was a cold sore that never went away. At home, I existed quietly. My entire childhood, I did not know who I was. I had no hobbies, no passions, and no connection to my culture. I was living, but living for nothing. I was not defined by what I was, but what I was not. I was not a gymnast, I was not a volleyball player, and I was not a softball player. Things shifted for me when I discovered soccer. It was not just a sport. Soccer gave me purpose, community, and a feeling that I mattered. Coming to high school, it felt like everyone had something, a passion. Everyone had a thing that made them who they were. Sports, careers set in mind, and specific music artists that they liked. I knew nothing about myself or what I liked. I felt like a background character in my own life. My freshman year, I remember sitting on the bleachers during 5th period PE when the girls' soccer team came onto the field. For weeks, the field had been empty, but that day it was alive and loud. The teams fought aggressively, scored goals, and after every goal, they would run to somebody with the same colored jersey and hug them. I did not know the rules or positions, but I remember wishing that I was down there too. I wanted to be a part of the adrenaline and have the feeling of belonging. In my history class, sophomore year, I was assigned to sit next to Shelby. Shelby was on the varsity girls soccer team, talked to everyone she came face to face with, and was always surrounded by people. One day, out of nowhere, Shelby was glued to my hip, and we talked every day about everything. I told her about how I wanted to try out for soccer, but that I was too scared, and she said, "So what? I'll help you. You're going to be the next Messi." I do not know why, but at that moment, something shifted. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen. The idea that someone cared enough to spend their time helping me just because they believed I could do something made me feel special. Shelby reminded me that I belonged on the field just as much as anyone else. She wanted to watch me succeed and play alongside her. That meant more than anything to me. When summer started, Shelby practiced with me every other Saturday. We went to Pan Pacific Park and she taught me the basics. I learned how to pass, dribble, and trap the ball with control. I messed up a lot. But Shelby never yelled, belittled, or gave up on me. At the end of every practice, she would say, "You're getting better." Through every efficient pass, header, and touch, I saw myself the way she did. Shelby did not only teach me how to play, but she motivated me every day and believed in me before I did. On the day of tryouts, I felt my heart in my throat and a sudden urge to pee. The other girls had on club uniforms, and I wore an old uniform Shelby gave me. I wondered if everyone around me, the coaches and players, could tell I was a fraud. Then something small happened that changed everything for me. I went against girls that I was intimidated by, and I was able to win the ball from them and cleanly dribble it back to their side each time. The coach called out good defense, and for the first time, I felt seen, like I had done something right. As the days went by, I started getting included more. Each time I got called Emerald instead of girl made my heart smile. People joked with me during warm-ups and practice. It was small stuff, but to me it was everything. For so long, I felt like an outsider looking in. I knew everyone's names, but nobody seemed to care to know mine. It was like standing at the door of a theater. I was close enough to watch, but never really a part of it. I showed up, but I was invisible. I was not just a body on the team, but I was Emerald. I was no longer peeking into the movie theater, but I was stepping into it. I was not the alienated 9th grade girl anymore who watched from the bleachers, but I was someone who was a part of the alive and loud field. Soccer is not just a sport for me, but it was a door I did not know existed, and Shelby was the one who opened it.